Hey, welcome. Have you ever really stopped to think about the wild journey your food takes after that very first bite? It's not just some simple drop down a tube, you know? It's this super sophisticated, completely automated disassembly line. So today, we're going to take an inside look at the ultimate food processor, your own digestive system.
Right? It seems like a simple question, doesn't it? But the answer? Well, it's this amazing story of biology, chemistry, and some seriously incredible engineering. We're going to follow a single bite of food from start to finish and see exactly how your body turns it into the fuel and the building blocks that, keep you alive.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this whole trip. The digestive system is built around what's called the alimentary canal, and that's basically just one long specialized tube. It starts at the mouth, winds its way down the esophagus, through the stomach, the small and large intestines, and, well, all the way to the exit. And along the way, you've got these crucial support organs like the liver, gallbladder, and pancreas that play absolutely vital roles.
Our journey kicks off the very moment food passes your lips. See, the process of digestion doesn't just wait until the food hits your stomach. Nope, it starts right away, in your mouth. And right off the bat, it's a two-pronged attack. First up, you've got mechanical digestion. Your teeth are in there, cutting, tearing, and grinding the food into smaller, easier-to-handle pieces. But at the exact same time, chemical digestion kicks off. Your salivary glands release saliva, which has this enzyme called salivary amylase, and it gets to work right away, starting to break down complex starches into simpler sugars.
So once you swallow that chewed up food, which is now called a bolus, by the way, it doesn't just fall down your esophagus. No way. It's actively and powerfully pushed along by a process called peristalsis. The best way to think of it is like squeezing a tube of toothpaste. These coordinated wave-like muscle contractions make sure the food gets to its next stop, no matter what position your body's.
And that next stop is the stomach. This J-shaped muscular bag is kind of like the system's acidic prep station. Its powerful muscle layers, which actually run in multiple directions, churn and mix the food, continuing that mechanical breakdown. But its real specialty is unleashing a serious chemical assault.
And this is where some truly brilliant chemical teamwork comes into play. The stomach lining has these specialized cells. You've got parietal cells pumping out hydrochloric acid, which creates this really harsh acidic environment. At the same time, chief cells release an inactive enzyme called pepsinogen. Now, why inactive? Well, it's a clever safety feature to keep the stomach from digesting itself. Then, that hydrochloric acid acts like a switch, flipping the pepsinogen into its active form, pepsin, a powerhouse enzyme that starts the huge job of dismantling large protein molecules.
So after a few hours of churning in the stomach, our food is now this semi-liquid paste called chyme. It's then released just a little bit at a time into the next, and I'd say most critical stage of the journey, the small intestine. This, my friends, is the main event. It's the true nutrient factory where most of the digestion and pretty much all of the absorption happens.
But the small intestine doesn't go it alone. As that chyme arrives, a whole support crew springs into action. The liver produces bile, which gets stored in the gallbladder and is then released to emulsify fats, basically breaking big fat globules into tiny little droplets. Meanwhile, the pancreas sends in this crucial cocktail: a bunch of enzymes to digest fats, proteins, and carbs, plus bicarbonate to neutralize all that stomach acid. This creates the perfect environment for all those enzymes to do their work.
And the small intestine? Well, it is built for this job. In an average adult, it's an incredible 6 to 7 meters long. That's about 20 feet, all expertly coiled up inside you, which is just wild when you think about it. So why on earth does it need to be so long?
And this quote right here gets to the heart of it. The goal isn't just to digest the food, it's to absorb all those incredibly valuable nutrients into your bloodstream. And to do that efficiently, you need a massive amount of surface area.
This is just biological genius. The inner wall of the intestine isn't smooth at all. It's covered in millions of these tiny finger-like things called villi, and each one of those is covered in even tinier microvilli. All of these folds increase the surface area so dramatically that if you could somehow lay it out flat, it would cover a tennis court. Seriously, that's the huge velvety surface that allows for maximum nutrient absorption.
Now, this whole process isn't just chaos. It's an exquisitely timed and regulated symphony. The digestive system is a master of communication, and it uses a really sophisticated system of hormones to talk to itself and coordinate every single step.
And what you get is this really elegant feedback loop.
Think of it like a series of chemical text messages. So when protein arrives in the stomach, it triggers the release of a hormone called gastrin, which basically texts the stomach, hey, we've got protein, release more acid. Then, when that acidic chyme moves into the intestine, it triggers secretin, which messages the pancreas, acid alert, send bicarbonate to neutralize it, stat. And when fats and proteins show up, the hormone CCK tells the gallbladder to squeeze out some bile. It's a perfect cause and effect system.
So, while the basic plan is pretty similar across the board, digestive systems in the animal kingdom have evolved some incredible adaptations to handle all kinds of different diets. Let's take a quick tour and see how form brilliantly follows function.
I mean, the diversity is just amazing. Compare the pretty simple digestive tract of a fish with the one on the right, which belongs to a cow. To break down tough plant stuff like cellulose, ruminants like cows have evolved this massive, four-chambered stomach. It basically acts as a giant fermentation vat, full of microorganisms that do the hard work of digesting what the cow's own enzymes can't.
Birds have another really fascinating adaptation. Since they don't have teeth for mechanical chewing, they've kind of outsourced the job. A lot of birds have a crop, which is an expandable pouch for storing food. From there, the food moves to the gizzard, a supramuscular part of the stomach that often contains little stones the bird swallowed. The gizzard then contracts and uses those stones to grind up the food. It's essentially a set of internal teeth. How cool is that?
So, after this incredible journey, what are the big takeaways? Well, first, remember that digestion is a tag team effort. It's both mechanical crushing and chemical breakdown. Second, it's a highly organized trip through a series of specialized organs, each doing its part. Third, hormones are the vital chemical messengers keeping the whole factory running in perfect sync. And finally, remember that creating a massive internal surface area is the secret sauce for efficient nutrient absorption.
So, from a simple chemical reaction in your saliva, all the way down to that vast, velvety lining of your intestines, this complex and fully automated factory is constantly at work inside you, right now, 24/7. It is an absolutely incredible piece of biological machinery. And knowing a little more about how it all works, the question is, what are you going to choose to send down the line next?